especially because wait, what? Yeah, so like like if you did it after fall breeze, right? Let's say you can even like a top flight right for a little bit and then stop and maybe let me do that. You can put me with this thing pattern and then we can just thinking of like explore it a little bit. I'm just thinking of a way we can try to extend this out a little bit. But then like after that madness, you'd be like, okay, I'm gonna do this piece. But if you don't want to, that's cool.
I'm just trying. Let me think. What
Also, you got a water? Did you buy that or?
the guy? They don't have one, but he went looking around and kind of found dug one out.
I'm just gonna ask for a cup of water.
Yeah, a couple waters at the end of the bar.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why. I'm just kind of blanking on like what I what we've got thousands of songs. I'm just trying to think like what fits best in this
Scenario.
scenario.
Yeah. Is there something new you're working on? That for your acousticy thing? That
Yeah,
what's you're gonna?
that's what I'm thinking. All right, I could probably do this.
Okay.
Um, and I also might just extend the time to talk between everything, so
Yeah,
that
that's
we're not going 3 songs in and then
sure.
we're like, oh shit.
Yeah, yeah. That's cool. I mean, like you were saying, we like play slowly, but it's like I think all those little things like that will help make it
Yeah.
seem more fleshed out or something. I don't know.
Also, it seems I would say just the overall show right now is pretty calm. I would just keep that alive. Chill. So let's just take it slow and have fun with it.
Yeah. We gotta tell the guy we're ready to go.
Thank you very much. My name is Jason Blake, and behind me I have Brandon White on drums joining. I'm going to play some music from a couple albums that I put out on the 7D Music label. That's Trey Gunn from King Crimson's record label. Him and I both play a unique instrument. This is called a war guitar for those of you who have never seen it before. It's a 12-string instrument with a guitar on one side and a bass on the other. I have a guitar tuned in fourths with a low C sharp, and I have a bass tuned backwards in fifths with a low C. And it's all played by tapping, as you see. Tony Levin and Trey Gunn have been in this building, actually, next door, so playing with tuner and stickmen. So you may have seen it with one of those guys. So that song came from an album I did called A Confusion Sequence. Here is what was the final part of that Confusion Sequence album. This is called Almost Entirely Forgotten. Thank you. All right, how about one that features Brandon on drums? This song is called False Streets of Entanglement. It comes from the album prior to that one. That's the name of the album is Subsequent Ruins. It was a retelling of the Pied Piper story. I had recently read that story, or reread that story, and didn't realize how dark of a story that really was. And so while I was reading it, I was thinking to myself, there's so many parallels to modern day technology, screens, and kids. So I rewrote the whole story with screens being the Pied Piper and hypothetically leading children off the cliff. And so this album is called Subsequent Ruins, and this is False Streets of Entanglement. There's also a good example of what this instrument can do, because you'll watch the different time signatures in both of the hands playing. Thank you. Brandon White on drums. So we did not plan for this, but I think what I'm going to do now. So I oftentimes play songs acoustically and warm up for bands just like this and me and my little war guitar. And so I'm going to do a song like that right now because we have a little bit of a longer set. So I'm going to do a song that I call Pictures of Paintings. I wrote it recently, and it hopes to be on the next Jason Blake album. I'm going to grab this stool over here and sit down. Thank you. All right, so we just we threw this one into the set this week. We played it twice. This will be number 3. This is called Dormant Visions. This comes from a Confusion Sequence album. know, it's funny. When I wrote that, I thought it would be a hit because it's all in 4/4. It never turned into the hit that I thought it would be. We got one more for you. I just want to thank everybody for coming out. Travis Larson's coming up next. I've had the pleasure of playing with this guy before. He is amazing. I want to thank Vlad for doing sound and everybody at Reggies. This is my favorite place to play in the city of Chicago. So thank you, everybody. We're going to end here with Pretense of the Herd. This comes from the Subsequent Ruins album. It's kind of the centerpiece of that album I was telling you about with the storyline of the Pied Piper. So this is Pretense of the Herd. Oh, and I should also mention I do have these CDs for sale at the back. Thank you very much. Again, my name is Jason Blake. That's Brandon White. CDs for sale. Travis Larson's coming up next. Thank you.
All right, dude. We did it.
Let me do that one more time. Actually, let me just say hello first. Hi, Chicago. How you guys doing? So let me explain myself. And first of all, a huge round of applause for Jason and Brendan. Awesome. Very awesome. This is the first time I've played Chicago, and I haven't had Matt Tate in some sort of incarnation of whatever he's doing open. He couldn't do it tonight, and these guys were nice enough to come down and play. And this is also the first time I've been here like by myself. So I'll do a quick explanation, and then we'll kind of get into stories as the show goes on. But so there's some Rush fans here, probably, right? So I see this is the Rush table right here, and there's the backstory personally, and we're all friends here, so I can talk to you guys like we're friends. The band, everybody in the band has parental issues. Everybody's getting old, and the parents need care, and it's getting hard to tour. So Jennifer, my partner in crime for the last 30 years in Travis LARSON band, is home taking care of her dad right now. But about 6 months ago, she sent me an email and she said, I got you a Rush ticket for Madison Square Garden on August 3rd. All you have to do is get yourself there. And so she flew out, and I thought to myself, well, if I'm going to go all the way out there, then I am going to play. So I started booking in reverse from New York backwards, and in both directions, so that I had a way to get out there and a way to get home. And this last weekend was the Rush show, and now I'm on my way home. So I've passed the center point, but Reggies was always on the radar because this is like, as Jason mentioned, this is my favorite place to play, his favorite place to play. This is the greatest place to play in Chicago. I'm sorry, it just is. And so give Reggies a hand for letting us play weird music. And we're so I'm out touring by myself. I'm not driving the big van. I actually got a car, so gas is not costing me like $140 a tank this time. I'm going to play a bunch of stuff, loops, tracks, maybe an acoustic song or two, a whole lot of notes, and hopefully at the end we're all happy and cool. And I'm happy and cool now because I just ate the pulled pork sandwich, which was amazing. So I'm good. I got here. I've been driving way too much lately, and so that's the quick story. Let me play a bunch of songs. We'll talk some more, but let me just say a heartfelt, I really appreciate you guys showing up. Thanks for coming out tonight. Thank you so much. Now, the reason I have to start that over is because the drummer was not starting the correct song. He doesn't always listen to me. And with Dale, you know, I could look back at him and like raise my eyebrows. But with Digital Dale, I just have to stop him and say, no, that was wrong. And then I have to reprimand him and say, let's play this song instead. Oh, thank you very much. So, one of my reasons for playing guitar in the first place is a guy named Jeff Beck. There's a few Jeff Beck fans, right? And I was fortunate enough. Well, first of all, the first song I ever heard him play was not a Jeff Beck song. And the thing that I loved about him was he would play other people's songs and do them in such a way that they would become a Jeff Beck song, if you know what I mean. So this song was no different. And I heard this maybe, well, I don't know. It's like 45 years ago, which is odd because I'm only 38 years old. But this is what made me want to play guitar, and I recorded this on an album called Burn Season with a friend of mine named Steve Lukather from the band Toto. He's a huge Jeff Beck guy. I'm a huge Jeff Beck guy. So this is sort of our tribute to Jeff Beck, but it's really, and it's apropos for where we are. I looked out the bathroom window and saw a train going by. So this is an old Curtis Mayfield song about a train. Thank you very much. So I mentioned before, Jen and I just went and saw Rush this last weekend. And so has anybody seen the show? They were just here, right? Yeah, so did you go? Okay. So awesome. Very cool. So so we went to New York. I think you guys just came in, right? It's a quick overview for those guys. Band's not touring. Parents aren't well. Jen and I went to the Rush show. Close enough? So I'm here doing solo shows because Jen's home taking care of Dad. But there's a record we came out with in 2016, and who knew when we made that record that we were naming it after the new drummer for Rush? But it seems like I should play a song off that record. So this is a thing called Annika, who is killing it, by the way. The band sounds fantastic. So this is a very Rush-inspired thing. It's kind of like Rush and the Dixie Dregs. If you have well, you'll know the differences if you guys are music aficionados. And if you're not, just try and count along. Imagine all the lasers. Thank you very much. I was working on the latest record with the band a couple of years ago, and a good friend of mine who I just did 4 dates with this new sort of all-star group out on the West Coast called Pfft, P-F-F-T. Has anyone seen me? We played downstairs with a band called Project a couple of years ago. Did anybody see that? Okay, so this is sort of fusion project. It's still Jonathan Mover's thing, but it's Jonathan Mover, Mike Keneally, Brian Beller, and don't hold me accountable for this, but a guitar player that I was not familiar with, but they just did like their groundbreaking first gigs, and I was out there for that, doing this and sitting in and basically doing what I did with Project when we were here. It gives me an excuse to get out and play with my friends while the band is on hiatus. So what was the point of the story other than the band rocks? I don't remember. It'll come back to me. The pulled pork is still settling in. So, but anyway, if you get a chance to see that, oh, I know. Okay, I remember. It came back to me. If you just hang in there, it's all going to come together. I've been driving like 6 hours today, so. So Mike Keneally, my good friend, he's in that band. We're also doing a tour in September on the West Coast with Mike Keneally's solo band, which is called Beer for Dolphins. I don't know why. 30 years ago, he figured that out, and I guess I have yet to ask him. I should, but he was hanging out when we were working on the last Travis LARSON band record, and Mike, if you don't know, Mike is the former stunt guitarist for Frank Zappa. You know, Frank was a guy who wrote music he couldn't necessarily play, so he had to hire stunt guitarists. Sometimes I wish I could do that, but so I thought, what would it be like? Again, I'm a huge Dixie Dregs fan. Steve Morris, Jeff Beck, these are kind of my guys. Rush is my band, but Steve Morris and the Dixie Dregs, huge influence on me, and I was sitting around with Mike and I thought, what would it be like if you or Frank Zappa was in the Dixie Dregs? If the Dixie Dregs and Keneally Zappa world had a baby, it might sound something like this. So in the verses, we'll call them verses, even though there's no vocals, it's sort of this quirky, weird, you know, Zappa-esque, Keneally guitar tone-ish kind of thing. And then the choruses are sort of this high-octane fiddle-playing Dixie Dregs kind of thing. So this is a song, being an instrumentalist, you can call things anything you want. Sometimes you can invent words. It's got this kind of slow, greasy, funky riff that's the main foundation of the song. And to me, it sounded like grud. Grud also sounds like the stuff that sticks to your feet when you go in the restroom in a bar or something. But maybe the riff sounds like that. I don't know. Anyway, this is a song called Grud. Thank you. I'll do something quiet and sensitive. This is a tune that sort of starts out as a lullaby and maybe just takes a little turn into a nightmare for a second. And hopefully by the end it all ends as a good dream. This is a thing called Dreamcatcher. Thank you. You guys seem like an attentive and patient crowd if I try things that I'm unsure of, right? Yes? I see smiling faces and friendly people. This is a tune that the musicians, you guys will understand that like the hardest things to play are the slow things. It's the fast, bombastic things where you're just shredding all the time. Those things are kind of, not that they're easy, but if you make a mistake, it goes by fast. You can play wrong notes and they become just a line of notes that people don't focus on. But this song is sort of a long, weird journey of a song that, again, kind of a Dixie Dregs influence thing, not to keep bringing them up, but what I loved about their ballads is that they were these really sort of epic adventures, and this song is sort of like that. It's kind of like a slow, moody, epic adventure mixed with like a trucker song. Makes perfect sense, right? It'll all make sense when I play it. I'm not Alex Lifeson on this tour, or any tour, so I have to re-plug into this. I have a special pickup on this guitar that sounds very much, hopefully, like a steel string acoustic for various sections of this song. If I was Rush, I would just have an acoustic here that a roadie would run out, set it in front of me, I would play that part, then I would play the electric, and we would go back and forth. With this song, I just have a pickup in this guitar because I can't fit the extra acoustic in the car, so, or the roadie. It's not that song. This is a song called Will to Wait. Thank you very much. So while I have my pseudo-acoustic here, I'm going to play a song about a dog, because that's the obvious choice for shreddy progressive rock guitar show. Yes. Exactly. I did that song one time at a show. We did it at a CD release party because we didn't have any new material, and we thought this would be the one time to do it. And we did Bytor and the Snow Dog into Cygnus X1. The problem is, and we don't do that kind of stuff, but if we're going to do it, we're going to make sure we do it really, really well, and we don't want to screw it up, and we want it to be kind of perfect. But the one thing that wasn't perfect was it really sounded like Dave Grohl singing Rush, because I don't have the range of Geddy, but I can scream like Dave Grohl, so I'm not sure it was a good thing, but I won't be doing it here tonight. Every record we do maybe an acoustic duet or two, and we came upon this one. So Jennifer, my partner in crime, if you've seen Travis LARSON Band, by the way, there's two Jens, but I didn't bring Jen 2 here ever, so you guys never met her. But Jen 2 was the guitar player for Evanescence, and I was touring with her for the last 2 years. But Jen 1 is Jennifer Young. They actually know that they came up with these names. I'm not being disrespectful. It's Gen 1 and Gen 2. It's just what it is in our little TLB circle. So Gen 1, Jennifer Young, my partner in crime with TLB for 30 years, and bass player and co-producer and all that stuff. So her dad, who's not doing great right now, he used to have this dog, and it was a dachshund mixed with a black lab. You do the math. So it was basically a really long black wiener dog, like a limousine of a dog. And it was a little too fat in the middle, one of these dogs that kind of sways a little bit. And we had wood floors and a kitchen island. And so Gus was his name, Gus would run around the room and kind of like, almost like dog drifting. You know, his rear end would slide out. You hear his nails clicking on the floor. And so when Gus passed away, Jennifer's dad said, "You've got to write a song for Gus," and he was very heartfelt about that. He was tears in his eyes. This was his dog for a long time. And Jennifer and I, as much as we love Jen's dad and Gus, we looked at each other like, how do we write a song about a dog? A wiener dog that used to run in circles. And so we thought, okay, it's one of the acoustic duets. That's how we're going to do this. So as you hear the ascending and descending lines in this next piece, picture Gus running in circles, little nails clicking, kind of almost belly touching the ground, like a limousine doing figure eights that's about this big. So this is a song called Old Gus. Thank you very much. Did we all see Gus running in figure eights? He says, then my work here is done. All right, I got a couple of more for you, but I gotta put this guitar on. The other one I think I've abused long enough. Everybody doing okay? This is, I figured, you know, we were talking earlier about when there's so many rooms in this building. I've played downstairs when, you know, they've got like a full metal show going on next door, and you stop and talk to people, and it's just like coming through the wall, and it's really nice up here. It's like it's just like this kind of like a house party. So I'm really digging it. I'm digging hanging out with you guys, and I am digging hearing myself. And speaking of that, if I sound fantastic, it's all Vlad's fault. So give Vlad a round of applause for making me sound good tonight. So let's see. I'm going to do a tune. When we started out, we used to play this college pub all the time called the Frog and Peach Pub. And the Frog and Peach Pub was one of these places where this is a perfect example of an audience that I can use this like, comparison. There's you people, and then there's those people. So you go to a college pub, and I've got nothing against college pubs, don't get me wrong, but we started out playing there, and we're playing music that, you know, isn't necessarily in 4/4 time, and most of the people there are there to listen to, which is fine for some things, but that's just not what we do. So you'd have a lot of, you know, college girls with a lot of adult beverage in them, and they would start dancing, and we would figure out after about 15 minutes that there was no way they could find the one. And I'm not sure they knew this, and I'm not sure they cared, so it wasn't a bad thing, but we thought it was very entertaining, so we would start throwing everything but the kitchen sink at them and kind of just see what would happen. And so this song, if you remember the movie Jaws, Quint says in Jaws, he goes, "We're going to draw him in and we're going to drown him." That's sort of the premise of this song for the inebriated college student that's trying to dance at a progressive rock fusion show. And so it's called Attention Deficit Disorder. That guitar gave up quicker than this one. I'll tell you. Let's see if this one works. Oh, okay. All right. That would normally be the end, but I feel like we should do one more thing together. You guys up for one more song? I'm going to do something that is not something I would have done, but I feel like this needs to happen. I have this microphone here. Vlad, make me sound sexy when I start making noise, you know? Turn the suck button down, and you turn the sexy button way up. You guys will all know this one. Oh yeah, there we go, yeah. Rafters. Well, she's walking through the clouds with a circus mind that's running wild. Butterflies and zebras, moonbeams and fairy tales, all she ever thinks about, riding with the wind. When I'm sad, she comes to me with 1,000 smiles she gives to me free. It's alright, she say, take anything you want from me. Anything. Well, she's walking through the clouds with a circus mind that's running wild. Butterflies and zebras, moonbeams and fairy tales, all she ever thinks about is riding with the wind. When I'm sad, she comes to me with 1,000 smiles she gives to me free. It's alright, she say. Take anything you want from me. Well, anything. Take anything that you want. Take anything that you need. Thank you guys very much for hanging out with me tonight. Had a great time playing for you. You guys are the best. I'll be hanging out right over there. Come say hi.